of 14, he had to go to work to help support his family, loading and unloading strawberries, working under these terrible conditions. And he finally kind of has enough, and he organizes his fellow workers. They decide they're gonna stop loading and unloading these strawberries and just let them sit out there and bake in the hot sun. Management's washing their strawberries, kind of molder on the dock. They cave. I think this is where Hoffa really sees the power of the people, the power of organizing. He was successful in his very first time out at 14 years old, and people noticed. They really don't want Hoffa back in charge. They want him gone.
So the FBI believes he was killed, and then his body transported to Central Sanitation.
And the FBI hurries to prove their case, but unfortunately, the Genovese crime family seems to be one step ahead.
Within a few months of Hoffa's disappearance, Central Sanitation catches fire in an arson. A few months after that, the whole place is torn down. So any hope of recovering evidence disappears. And that's as far as the incinerator theory can get.
But that doesn't stop speculation about other possibilities.
People still want to know, where did he end up? Where did they prove? Kept running into a lot of dumped bodies. Each time they found a body, they'd call the prosecutor's office and say, hey, we found another one. But then construction would have to stop. They'd have to wait for an investigation, and it was slowing the whole thing down. So after the 5th body, they just stopped calling. And that's why timing is perfect for the mob. Not only have they stopped looking for bodies, but a big concrete pour is scheduled. And guess who's in charge of the concrete trucks? The Genovese family. Exactly where they were going to put Hoffa. In the end zone, section 107 in the corner, right where they were scheduled to pour 30 tons of concrete. Francos describes it like a sick joke amongst the mob. Whenever a touchdown is scored, they toast and say, hey, Jimmy, that one's for you. While it wasn't common knowledge amongst the public, at least until this interview came out, it was well known throughout the criminal underworld where Jimmy Hoffa was. They put him in the ground, and he's right there on TV every Sunday. And that's why you don't mess with the mob.
But when giants, the FBI doesn't bother to conduct a dig.
Demolition crews only went down about 4 feet, and word has it that Hoffa's way deeper than that. I guess the FBI didn't put enough trust in Donald Francos to execute.
That I'm in here in the first place.
The Genovese crime family control the Teamsters, and they don't like Jimmy Hoffa. And they really are cut off. Meanwhile, Jimmy Hoffa's family is still getting his pension benefits.
Tony Provenzano confronts Jimmy Hoffa.
While he's in there, he publicly fights with a crime boss from the Genovese crime family named Fox Restaurant. TG refers to Tony Giacalone, known as Tony Jack.
Tony Giacalone is a high-ranking member of the Detroit Mafia, and in many ways,
Tony Pro's family is collecting a union pension. But when Tony goes to prison, control a lot of the major construction projects in New York at the time, like Madison Square Garden and Javits Center.
Franco claims he's in tight with the Westies. As a matter of fact, they wanted him to be the trigger man on Hoffa. But he's in prison at the time.
Which leads to a very different idea on what happened to Hoffa, from someone who knew him well.
There's no doubt.
Already a notorious dumping ground for mob victims. In fact, while they were constructing Giant Stadium, the construction crew kept running into
Fox Restaurant, hoping to make amends.
He's there for a meeting with associates of the Genovese crime family. He wants to talk to them about returning to run the Teamsters Union. The Mafia has control of the Teamsters these days, and they really don't want Jimmy Hoffa back in charge, but they agree to the meeting. Problem is, they're late.